Having you on this journey supporting me was just incredible. My name is Marianne O'Neill. Together with my husband, Pierce O'Neill, we bought 2 terraced small houses in Dublin, and our objective was to retrofit them to the highest energy efficiency and bring them back to the rental market. Both houses were mid-terrace, quite a small size, around 65 square meters, and both of the houses were vacant for a considerable amount of time. So really, houses were in poor state in terms of energy and nobody was living in them. So given the situation now we have in Ireland with so many families looking for accommodation to live, and even better, good quality accommodation to live, our objective was to retrofit them with the company that would provide the highest quality service and assist us along the way, and we successfully done that with KORE Retrofit. So both houses had old heating system. I think it was the oil in one, it was the gas in the other. I don't even remember correctly because we didn't try them on, they were just in such a poor state. And we got rid of that. Instead, we went with what KORE Retrofit recommended to us, with a heat pump, with controlled demand ventilation, solar panels, and insulation externally and attics. So really, we achieved the best rating possible, which is A1, and quite happy we took KORE's advice and done all the measures to make property the most efficient. It is actually that good that we're now considering to do our own house, because our own house is B1. We've done a lot of measures, but because you can only do so much without getting it completely guttered, we don't have as much comfort in our own house as we have in our rental properties. I stayed in one recently just to clean up the place, and I couldn't believe it was a little bit of sunshine, the heat pump wasn't working, and the room just got to 22, very comfortable 22 degrees, and was very fresh air, beautiful ambient temperature, just beautiful. Both houses have solar panels, which means they will be, the solar energy will actually will power the heat pump, and on those days when we don't use it, it will go back to the grid, which is fantastic. In terms of comparison, it is a really good question, and this is what many tenants understandably asked us. It is difficult for us to say because we didn't live in those properties. We purchased them and we hired KORE Retrofit, brought the contractor, and we started the build. However, I did ask the BR assessor, Terry Kavanagh, who actually introduced us to KORE, and he said that it should be half of what the average house would be. So I can actually say that I checked 1 month and it was half of what would be, in actually less than half of it would be in our own house. I was able to check 1 month, it is almost full months of October, how much we paid when the heat pump was working, when there were people in and out of the house to finish all the decorations. And it is coming up as less than half what we would have on average in our own house, which is really, really great news. I do my research thoroughly, and it was a big investment for me and my husband, so I took my time to do the research. I heard about one-stop shops, and I certainly heard about KORE. And what stood out for me is, first thing, when initially I was considering to go the route where I will apply for the individual grants and then manage the contractors myself, which was very risky. I'm glad I didn't go that route. But at that time, I remember phoning KORE, and Vanessa was on the call, and she understood what I was asking, and that we are thinking to go the individual route, which wouldn't involve KORE. However, she was exceptionally helpful and actually gave me the advice that I asked at that time. And I remember leaving feedback because I was just so pleasantly surprised how professional the company was and how kind people were to share the information freely, even with the knowledge that I might not go with KORE. So that was one thing. And then another one, I went to the Ideal Home Show last year, and there were quite a few one-stop shops. KORE wasn't there, but through that exhibition I met Terry Kavanagh, the BR assessor, engineer, really helpful guy who gave us a lot of information, really a lot of useful information about energy retrofit. And most importantly, Terry was very strong advocate of KORE Retrofit from the experiences that he got with assessing the properties, I guess. And it was Terry who advised us strongly, and he was a professional whom we trusted. So that's how we ended up going with the KORE Retrofit. I was dealing with Anya throughout, and again, she was there every time I had a question. She was very helpful. There were sometimes issues, which is only very natural in construction projects at this time. And for example, we had a bit of a delay, but company communicated to me and my husband promptly. They gave the reason, they gave a new updated timeline, and it was completely understood. At the end of the day, it's all down to the result. We started with one of the worst ratings in terms of energy. We finished with the house of highest rating available, both properties A1, and both properties were finished as soon as the company could finish, to the very, very high standard. So very happy. KORE is, without any doubt, very organized, process-driven company. It did help to know and see the whole roadmap, what is going to happen after what, and timelines that manage my expectations. So yeah, that is definitely exceeded my expectations, my husband's expectations. It took a lot of paperwork, and having you on this journey supporting me was just incredible.